There is a reason why thousands of developers trust Firebase Authentication for their apps. It is secured, reliable, and surprisingly very easy to implement. Here is how to add it to your Android app. But wait, if you are new to Firebase, here's what you need to know. So Firebase Authentication or Firebase Auth lets you securely manage users in your app. What does that mean? It means when you have an application that requires that the user creates an account, sign in before he or she can use the application, then as a developer, you are responsible for creating the code or implementing the logic for creating user, logging user in, verifying user email, and user sign up. But you don't have to stress yourself over that. That's where Firebase Authentication comes in handy. You don't have to build all those from scratch. Firebase Authentication handles everything for you. It also supports many login options like email and password, Google sign in, Facebook, phone number, etc. So in this video, we'll focus on email and password method because it is one of the easiest you can get started with. Before we dive in, let's quickly see a demo of what we will build. So this is the final application. It has two input fields, a button and then a text that toggles between login and then sign up. Firebase Authentication using email and password requires just your email and password. So let's come here to sign in. So when you are logging, you are welcome with your email and then you have the logout button to log out. So when you click here, it takes you back to the login screen. So now that we created an account, let's log in with that account. We are able to use the account that we created to log in. Now let's break it down step by step. First, you need to make sure your application is properly connected to Firebase and authentication service is enabled. If you have not set up Firebase in your project yet, check out my previous video on Firebase setup. I've linked it in the description below. So open the Firebase Assistant and select authentication and then choose authenticate using custom authentication system. So make sure your Firebase is connected. Like I said, if you haven't done it, so check out the link in the description. Now come here and click on Add Firebase Authentication SDK to your app. The Firebase Assistant will add the authentication dependency to your project and sync the project for you. Now head over to the Firebase console. So select your project. Click on Build. Select Authentication. So this is it, Authentication. So from the authentication, select sign in method and then now select email and password. Click on enable and then save. Boom, now you are ready to handle real users. Now back to Android Studio. We have the home screen. So the home screen has a welcome message and then a button. We have the login screen. So the login screen also has two input fields and then a button. And then this test button, and then we have the sign up screen. So the link to the code is available in the description. So let's start from the sign up. In the sign up screen, you have to create an instance of the Firebase Authentication. So create a variable called auth, which is equal to firebase.auth. So import the library, select the one from KTS. So now that you have an instance of the Firebase Authentication, come to the login button. So inside the login button, you just have to call a method called create user with email and password. So you get the instance of the auth and call the method create user with email and password. Create user with email and password. Then you pass the email as the first param, and then the second param is the password. And that's all that's required to create authentication. Just that we have to add a listener to this method to know whether the operation was successful or not. So you come here and then add onComplete listener. So inside the onComplete listener, what do we want to do? We want to check whether the task is successful or not. So we'll check if the task is successful. If the task is successful, then we want to navigate to the home screen. Otherwise, we throw error message. So we can make a toast. So that's all. You create an instance of the authentication library, and then you come to the sign up button. Inside the sign up button, from the authentication instance, you have a method called create user with email and password. You pass the email and password. Add a listener to know whether the task was successful or failed. And that's all that's required to create an account for a user. You see how simple it is. So let's run the application and test it. So now move to the sign up screen, and then let's create a new account. So we are able to create a new account and move from the sign up screen to the home screen. So from console, you can see and then manage users that are using your application. Select the users tab. So you see the users that have logged in or are using your application. So you can see the email I use, maoli@gmail.com. So once a user creates account and is successful, the account will be added here and you can manage them from here. Now that we are able to create accounts for the user successfully, let's access the user's email and then complete the logout. Come to the home screen. To get the user's information, first of all, we have to create the instance of the auth in the home screen. Now I'll come to this message that says welcome user. So I'll replace it with the user email. I'll say auth.current user, then you get the email. So to implement the logout, there's a method called sign out. So you call auth.signout. So once you are signed out, then we navigate the user back to the login screen. So let's run it and test that one. Let's sign up with a new account. I'll hit the sign up. So you see we've retrieved the user's email, and then let's try the logout. So the user has logged out successfully. So when you come here and you refresh the console, you see that a new user has been added to this list. So let's complete it by implementing the login. So you have to add the auth instance. Then you come to the button handling the login. You call a method called sign in with email and password. So with the auth.sign in with email and password. So you call this method sign in with email and password. And that's all. You pass the email, pass the password. You have to add a listener. So if the task is successful, we navigate to the home screen. If it fails, we throw an error message. So let's run it and try the login screen. So we have one account called kofi@outlook.com. So let's just log in with that one. And that's it. So our login is working successfully. So I can log out. So that's it. You've now built a complete login system using Firebase Authentication in your Android app, from sign up to login to logout. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and comment below what feature you would love to add next. Maybe Google sign in or email verification. See you in the next one.